Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to It's Crochet O'Clock. If you are watching the replay of this, this is a live chat video that I do here on this channel every Tuesday evening, U.S. time at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and for the Australians and Kiwis that are able to tune in, it's 10 a.m. for the folks over on the Gold Coast. So if you are watching the replay, thank you. Make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section below to let me know that you were here. So let's get over to the live section of this so I can see all of the comments and see who is here. Kim, of course, was the first one here today. She was here way early. So she got first. That's the big thing going through all of the live crew. She got here first and got the first comment. Christy is here. Rebecca's here. Tammy. Christy's here and she's not at work. Yay. Nancy is here. Christine Little. Jaja, hello. Knitting Gnomes is here. Becky, Brenda, Dee, Melissa. Oh, Melissa, it's your first time in chat. Welcome. I hope that maybe next time you'll be able to stay longer. You can always watch the repeat of the video. There's Brenda, Bonnie, Marilyn, Renee, and then Kim Nelson. Hello, good day. We got lots of people here already. Kim said, my first comment disappeared, but I got first after your comment. I could actually still see it up there. Jaja's cat says, hi. Hello, Jaja's cat. Ida's here. Hi, Ida. And it's Brenda's first time here, too. Woo, we got some first-timers. Well, welcome to the chat. The reason that we do these things is because I get jealous of other folks. Why am I... All kinds of crazy things happen here. There's no script here. We just go with it. So I get jealous of people that can go to stitching gatherings because there isn't any by me. So this is my weekly dose of I get to sit around with people of like mind and crochet and talk about yarny stuff and all of the stuff that has to do with yarn. And you know, people aren't going to look at me like I'm crazy. We have a network of people. I don't know how my yarn got all tangled up. I should have looked at this before I started filming. We have a network of YouTubers that go live at varied times during the week in U.S. time zones because that's where I am, and that's what's most comfortable for me. I go live every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Fiberific goes live every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Pip and Poppycock goes live every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So for those of you over in Europe, that would probably be a better time zone for you. And then Bob Wilson 123 goes live Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we have our own little network, and we had spoken before about setting up a schedule on my website. I'm sorry, my brain went blank. A schedule, and I have done that. If you go to itscrochetoclock.com, you can click on it, and there is a schedule there. A lot of you in last week's live chat gave me some suggestions of other people who go live regularly, and I've contacted them, but unfortunately nobody has responded back to me yet. I didn't want to add them onto the website without their permission and without verifying that they do have a set schedule before I put that on there. So if they respond to me, I will add them to the schedule, but as of right now, it's only the 4 of us that I know that don't mind me putting their names on the website. Let's see who's up here. I missed some chat. Let's see. Christine Little says, my son thinks I'm crazy. I yell, it's crochet o'clock. Yes, it is. It's crochet o'clock. Hello, Denise. Hello, Soa. Deanna. It's my little niece. Hello, Christy. Don't forget to like this video. Yes, please give it a thumbs up. Denise says, none around me either, no craft fairs. I feel ya. That's why I love these things. Kim said, I posted a link to your Tim Tam video to my friend who asked about Tim Tam. She thought it was funny as. Oh, I love me some Tim Tams. We're already getting into that. Brenda Smith says, I'm looking for a new stitch. Ooh, well, I don't know about a new stitch, but I actually just filmed a video today that will go live on Thursday for the crochet alongs that are coming up in September. So maybe that will give you some ideas of something that you want to do. Melissa said, aren't any by me either, so I talk on YouTube. Just found you. Well, welcome. You are very welcome. I think stitching gatherings are so much fun, and I'm really bummed that we don't have any here close to me. But I like that I get to hang out with all of you guys. Kim said, in a network of groupies that go and stalk you. Ain't that the truth? Dee said, I just got back from our weekly prayer shawl group at church, and in the morning I go to another group at a local senior center. Well, lucky you. That's wonderful. Jaja is leaving. Goodbye, Jaja. Let's see. Denise is having to jet out, but she's going to watch the replay. See you soon, Denise. Becky said it didn't take long to get on the topic of food. Tim Tams. No, it doesn't here. We love talking about sweets and foods here. Kim said, where are all of your spanners today? You know what? I don't know, Kim. Would you mind? Are you going to be around for the whole thing? I don't want to pressure you, so... But I will add you if you wouldn't mind. Kim Nelson said, at Leanne Barnes and I are having a hard time trying to find a weekly craft get-together that hasn't turned into drama. This baby llama don't need no drama. We're still looking and hope. Aw, that's a shame. Aren't you, Kim Nelson, aren't you and Leanne close to Chantel and Kim? I thought you guys were rather close to them. Tina says, none by me, and I am not close to a craft store. I hear you. I hear you. But the good thing is we have the internet, so we can do it. Kim said that she is happy to help out. Let me see. Come on. Lord. There we go. I gave Kim a spanner. She's got a spanner on my channel, you guys. Don't act up. She will get you. Let me see. Melissa said, someone told me to try the Meetup app. I haven't done it yet. I tried that, but there was nothing in my area. I'm in a very, very rural area for the moment. Rebecca Nelson said, hi everyone, sorry I'm late. I was watching a local guy tying a fly. Ooh, bet you that was fun. My papi used to tie his own flies. Then Kim said, if you're up for the drive, come to the Caffeinated Crafters that Fiberific runs. If I were anywhere close, I would totally be going to the Caffeinated Crafters. Kelly Crownover, yippee, bag ordered. Okay, so Kelly's here, and I know that she's here, so now we can talk about the two new things, because for those of you who aren't in the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group, Leanne gave us a rundown of everything that we were going to talk about, and I guess we kind of do get kind of redundant. Like, it's always known that we're going to talk about food. We're always going to talk about yarn and various things that we like or love about it. We're going to talk about crochet. You know, there's just, you know, spiders always get mentioned even though they're a no-no topic. We're going to talk about Fiberific, and we're going to talk about Pip and Poppycock because I love them. And, but, haha, I have two new things to talk about this week. Oh, sorry, Kim just said we should FaceTime you or something one night. It's Crochet O'Clock. Yes, Yes, you absolutely should. I would stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to be able to do that with you guys. Hello, Charlene, and hello, Cynthia. Okay, so there has been a couple people asking me for It's Crochet O'Clock merchandise, and specifically Kelly Crownover asked me for a bag. So I was already in the process of setting up a merch store, which I have. It's got, I think there's about 9 different things on there right now. You know, some coffee mugs, a travel coffee mug, a couple different versions of the tote bag that I have behind me. They're not exactly like that one because that one was made specifically for me, but they're close. And they're there. You can go to itscrochetoclock.com, click on merch, and it will take you right there. But then we also have food and spiders. Yep. So I have given in to the peer pressure from Bob Wilson and Fiberific, who is Chantel, and I created a Patreon. So Chantel did a very good, oh Lord, somebody on a motorcycle just went by. On Chantel's live chat last week, if you guys didn't watch it, she gave a really good explanation of what Patreon actually is. Patrons were a thing, you know, a couple centuries ago. People that were more wealthy would donate money to artists so they didn't have to split their time between work and between working on their art. So they became patrons to different artists. And Patreon is basically the same concept, only it's, you know, in the here and now. So it's a website that you go to, Patreon. I have a link in the description box below this live chat if you would like to check it out. If you're going to do it right now, and still listen to me in the background, make sure that you right-click on it, because if you don't, then it'll take you out of the video, and we don't want that. We want you to stay here. So there's different tiers that you can choose from, and I have little perks for each different tier. I'll be posting things specifically on my Patreon page that you won't get to see on my website, in my blog posts. You won't see me talking about it in the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group. It will be behind the scenes. There's a tier where you can, I will start doing behind the scenes footage of my filming process and things that I do over here. I actually already did that because I filmed behind the scenes of me setting up for this today. Let's see, what else is there? There will be an additional weekly chat that might actually be beneficial for the Euros, depending on the time zones of the people that choose to go with that donation tier. We will decide what time of the week we will do it. The reason that I chose to do my weekly live chats here on YouTube at this time is because I had a larger Australian subscription base, Australians and New Zealanders, than I did anybody over in Europe. So that's why I chose this time zone. But there is a tier there, and I was thinking of Miss Kelly when I made it because she wanted that bag that's right back there, and she couldn't get it because that bag was actually made for me by my cousin. And it's sparkly on it, and I can't get those made just like that through the company that I'm using for the merch store. So what I did was I called my cousin and I said, hey, if I buy you the materials, will you make these for my patrons that, you know, sign up and, you know, pledge that number? So that's the top tier, and after you have been a patron of that tier for 3 months, you will get an exclusive It's Crochet O'Clock bag. You'll never be able to buy it in the merchandise store. It's just for you guys. and you'll get a special little note from me. And after 6 months, you will get an exclusive It's Crochet O'Clock travel mug that will never, ever, ever be sold in my merchandise store, just for you guys, and it will be special. So that's something to think about. It's a way to support the channel. You guys probably aren't aware, but you know how we're always talking about watching the ads, because that's how we get paid. It's pennies per ad, and then on top of that, YouTube takes either 30 or 40%. They take 30% of the revenue that we gain from you guys watching the ads. If you guys do super chats here, they take 40% of that. If you're a YouTube Premium, it used to be called Red, they take a different percentage of that, and Patreon takes a very, very small percentage from what you guys donate to us. So it's a better way to give to the channel, and if you're a patron, then you can just skip past the videos here and not feel guilty at all on all of my videos, not just this one. Let's see. Bucket list attendance for Kim Nelson and Leanne to go to Caffeinated Crafters. Going through here. That's awesome of my cousin. My cousin is very, very, very awesome. I love my cousin to bits, and she doesn't post much in the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group, but she's there and she supports me. She's a nurse, and she's a grandma too, so she's busy doing family stuff. She doesn't spend a lot of time on Facebook, but she reads your posts. She just doesn't post very much. Kelly Crownover said, is it a subscription thing or can we pay that up front? Patreon is a monthly subscription thing. You pay by the month, and it gives you access to everything that you're supposed to get. Let's see, like Kim was my first patron today. I was so happy. She was my first patron today, and she chose the $3 tier because she's a stalker and she wants to see all of the crazy stuff that I do behind the scenes. So that's the tier that if you donate $3 a month, you'll get to see everything that I post for the $1 patrons, and then you'll get to see all of the behind the scenes videos and things like that of me doing all of this. But she, you know, what is it? Is it the 28th or the 29th now? She pledged $3 today, and then on September 1st, it will do $3 again for her, and then she'll be good for the whole month. Kelly said, I wish they would just let me pay for 3 or 6 months at a time. I hate monthly withdrawals from my accounts. I'm so sorry. And you can also cancel your Patreon pledges at any time. So that's a good thing about Patreon, is they don't lock you in for a specific amount of time. Kelly said, I'll deal with it. Sally said, so it's an automatic thing. Yes, it is an automatic thing. You will pay whatever the subscription is for whatever tier it is that you choose. You will pay that, and then on the 1st of every month, it will automatically bill either your PayPal or your credit card. Whatever. If everybody here went and signed up for the $1, it would equal out to more than what 10 of my videos makes in a month. It's crazy. Nancy said, do you have PayPal? Yes, I do have PayPal. So let's see, what else was there that I wanted to talk about? Fiberific set up one too, and she has different bonuses. Bob Wilson has had one for a really, really long time. I was just concerned about, you know, what I could offer. You know, like designers, there's some designers, or, you know, Bob Wilson and Chantel, they dye their own dye. or they dye their own yarn, so, you know, they could give away, you know, skeins of yarn or hanks of yarn to you guys. And I was like, what? I don't have anything to offer. And, you know, Chantel helped me a lot, and then Kim helped me a lot with ideas of how to do things. So I don't know if it will do any good, but we will see. Mavis, hello from Bermuda. It's my first time watching live chat. Hello, Mavis. Welcome. Kelly said that seems ridiculously cheap. Can you do more? No, the $20 tier is the highest tier on my Patreon, and I don't want to ask you guys for any more than that. I feel crazy just you know, putting it up to begin with, and I'm a little bit I don't know, like I feel weird, like I'm nervous about it, because there's a whole, like, you guys can only see over here on this section. I was talking to Kim about it earlier, and there is a whole world over there on that side. Like, my eyes are tearing up because I'm having a little bit of anxiety about sharing, you know, the behind the scenes stuff, because I sit here, you know, in my pajamas with no makeup on, my hair bopped on top of my head, and I film all of these videos for you guys, and then I sit here for hours and I edit them, and it's just weird, you know, letting people see into that part of my world. But apparently there is people that want to see it. So we'll try it. Eva said, what are you working on? I am working on a, there goes the doorbell. That would be the 12-year-old's little friend from across the street wanting to come play. So if they get loud, I apologize, because they're 12-year-old boys and they have no self-control. So I'm working on a blanket, Eva. I started with a big, I'll hold it up here. I started with a big granny square here, and I am making several smaller granny squares to go around it that I think I am going to do an attach as you go situation around it. I'm making a blanket for my 2-year-old grandbaby. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. Talking about the different levels. Christy said behind the scenes is always interesting. I hope it's going to be interesting for you guys. I don't know how it's going to be for me, because normally, you know, I just get into the mode and I sit here and I'm not going to lie to you, well, because, you know, I have to film a row when I'm doing my tutorials for like the crochet alongs and things like that. I have to film a row, and then I have to pause and finish the row before I can film the next row or the next round. So I sit here and I watch TV and finish the round, and then I go back to filming. I don't know. Maybe you guys, I hope you guys will find it interesting. We'll see. Oh. Hello, Connor. Let's see. Connor is part of, he's not blood, he's not related, but he's part of the whole crew. He might as well be related. So they're the children. This weekend, after we had the services for Catherine's father, everybody came back here to the house and was here until the wee hours, and all of the children signed up for the YouTube channel, but they promised that they would be good while they were here. Oh, let's see. A day in the life of filming. Yes. That's what it will be like. But it will be, you know, different little snippets. Let me see. Let me switch this so you guys can see. There we go, on the big screen. Kelly, do not encourage them. Do not encourage them. I knew it was Kim. That's why I said something. They'll be good, though. They're just watching to be supportive. I'm hoping that one of them is going to ask me to pick up a crochet hook one of these times that they come over. Ooh, hello, Loretta. Let me see if I missed any. Deanna said that's really pretty. Thank you. Sounds about right for 12-year-old boys. I hope so. Loretta said, I'm new here. Granny squares are my favorite. You know why I do granny squares? Well, for this project, I needed something that I could work with on screen while we were sitting here talking to you guys that wasn't an actual pattern, you know, a paid-for pattern, or, you know, I didn't want to break copyright working on something. So that's why I do these types of things, so I won't get in trouble with anybody. Ida said, instead of asking them to be good, you should ask them to be the least bad they can be. Aw, that's a good idea. Kim Nelson said, what's everyone's thoughts on alpaca yarn? I've started a Lost in Time shawl for me in alpaca. What? Did I mess? No, I didn't mess it up. Something looks funky there. I think it's okay. It's not my favorite to work with, but you know, maybe I just haven't found the right brand yet, because I find that, you know, that's with a lot of things. I don't like working with cotton, but I have some cotton on the way to me that apparently is the softest cotton ever in the world to work with. So maybe I just haven't had, you know, the right alpaca yarn in my hand. Thank you. Kim says, I can't wear alpaca or wool, but I've worked with it a few times. I find that it seems to shed a little when you're working with it. Melissa is a beginner. She's never used alpaca. Whoo! Welcome to the channel, Melissa. We talk about all kinds of crazy things here. I get into the math of it just because I'm a geek and I like to break things down. So you're going to find all kinds of craziness here on the channel where I break everything down by yards and I go out and hunting for comparable types of yarns just for the fun of it, because I'm crazy and I like to do that kind of stuff. Hello, Leanne. Leanne said that she didn't know if she was going to be able to drop in tonight. You see, Kelly said, I've never used it. I want to do a Lost in Time shawl, but the pattern, the way it's written, intimidates me. Kelly, I completely understand. And do you want to know how I got through it? I had to rewrite the whole thing. I had to walk through the pattern because the way that it was written, my brain, it was not clicking with my brain. So I actually had to go through the whole pattern and write it all down in a book in a language that I could understand. And then I was able to walk through it. I have to do that with a lot of stuff. Oh, let's see. Wow. Lots of people haven't used alpaca. Melissa said, I love Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton yarn. It's softer than the other ones. My issue is texture. Whenever I am working with yarns, like we've spoken about this a couple times, I am using Red Heart Super Saver for this blanket because it's going to a 2-year-old. And I didn't want to use, you know, my premium acrylic, which is paint box that I normally use for everything else. I didn't want to use that for this. So I have been forcing myself to use this, but it hurts me. Like, I get rug burns right there. I get rug burns right here on the tip of this finger because of how I hold it. It's just, it's not good for me at all. So cotton does that to me. Every single cotton that I've ever worked with the exception of the Stylecraft Classic 4-ply that I worked the Gypsy Queen shawl in, That one didn't hurt me, but the other ones just hurt me. So I don't like using them. But apparently this cotton that's coming to me is going to be fabulous, and it's going to blow all of the other cottons out of the water. Sally said, I like to try a touch of alpaca, but the only way I can get it is from Lion Brand website, and shipping is crazy. Their website, most websites, you know, like you go to the Red Heart website where I went to make sure that I could get the colors that I wanted for these projects that I'm working on. Their shipping was crazy expensive, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you charging this much for shipping? Ida said I got mine from Joann's. I had a coupon for the shipping. Ooh. Rebecca likes baby alpaca yarn. Stacy said that Bendigo cotton is the best. It's so soft. You know, that's one of my bucket list things, is to go to Bendigo Mills. Isn't that crazy? I want to go there so bad. I'm so jealous of all of you guys. Hello, Connor and Connor's friend. Kim said, my only complaint about cotton yarns is that the colors are often more muted unless it's mercerized, in which case it's not soft anymore. Yeah, that's the truth. Deanna said, I would love to learn what you do, Steph. Well, honey, you live in the same town as me. I will teach you. That's what I do. Leanne says, poor internet coverage, can read chat, but that's it. Watch the replay. Oh, poor thing. Poor Leanne. Can't participate. So far, my favorite has been the Cascade Ultra Pima Cotton. You're not the only one to say that. We were just having a conversation in the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group. I think it was yesterday we were having that conversation about Cascades, maybe? Cascade came out with a new yarn, and it's crazy expensive. It's like $10.50 a ball. But somebody mentioned that one. Goodbye, Melissa. Kim said, I flew to Melbourne, hired a car at the airport, drove to Bendigo to see the mills, drove back, and flew home the same day. Wow. Lord have mercy. I want to travel like Kim does. Kim Nelson says, I'm using I don't know how to say that word, Adego Mills brand alpaca in brown and cream colors. They farm the alpacas and mill their own fleece. Australian brand. Wow. That's nice. See, Brenda says, where do you live? Currently, I am in New Mexico. Kim Nelson said, I love heirloom cotton. Ooh. I really wanted to see the infamous back room at the mills. Did you get to see the infamous back room at the mills? That's the question. Sally said that can easily be done. I would probably do the same thing, but I don't drive. There is a crochet cruise, the Australian crochet cruise, where they have a whole day. I think it's like 10 days and 11 nights or something like that on the cruise. And one of the days is just at Bendigo. I would love it. Brenda said, I'm an ex-truck driver. I have been in New Mexico. Well, you know what? You've probably never been to where I am, because it takes me, let me see, what is it, like a 3-hour? Maybe it's a 2-hour. It's a 2-hour drive to get to any interstate. Just to get to an interstate. So you've probably never been to where I am. Somebody needs to tell me what this back room at Bendigo Mills is all about. What's in the back room? Is it where they keep all of the secret squirrel stuff? Or is it where they keep like a catalog of all of their past stuff? What's the back room? It's times like this that I really, really hate the delay in chat. Because now I have to wait. The back room has discontinued and mill-ins at a discounted price. Ooh. Eva said, I've been to New Mexico many, many times on the back roads. Ooh, well then maybe you've been here. You know, there's one of my subscribers who went on... She went, I don't even know why she was doing it, but she went, I think she lives in Texas, and her and a group of her friends drove up to Seattle, or maybe it was Portland, somewhere up there, but she was posting pictures, and she posted a picture. She was leaving the town that I live in, and I said, oh my God, you should have let me know that you were here, because she was already gone. I saw it like 4 hours after she had posted the picture. I said, you should have let me know that you were in town. I would have met you for dinner or something. And she said, it totally spaced out on me that that's the town that you live in, and I told myself to remember it. That was crazy, but I was so surprised, you know, like of all the ways that they could have driven to get to California to go up, they chose to come through here. It was just very strange because it's way off the beaten path. Ida said, isn't the back room where everyone plays cards and smokes cigars? Oh, that's what Freaky Geek would say. That's true. That is what Freaky Geek would say. You can only shop the back room in person. Wow. Well, Kim, did you actually get into the back room? Did you get to go in there? Eva says Roswell and the White Sands. Yep. I am 2 hours north of Roswell. I am 2 hours west, northwest of Lubbock, Texas, and I am 2 hours southwest of Amarillo. I'm 2 hours away from any type of civilization. That's just what I tell people. Aw, bye, Kelly. Apparently the man needs ice cream, so Kelly has to leave us. Let's see, just looking up to make sure that I didn't miss any chat. Brenda met her husband working for the same company. They were pulling flatbed trailers together. Aww. Sally said, back room sounds dodgy, but I'm sure it's not. It does sound kind of dodgy, doesn't it? But it would still be nice to go in and look around. Lion Brand started selling mill-ins on their website, but you don't get to choose. So, you know, like walking into the back room at Bendigo Mills, you would obviously get to put your hands on it and choose to purchase something. But with Lion Brand, I think the way that they were doing it, I'm not sure if they're doing it anymore, but they, you know, you paid a set dollar amount and you just got like a surprise random box of mill-ins. I don't know how I feel about that. Kim said, yep, I bought heaps of smaller balls of cotton and a cone of lace weight cotton and a few hanks of undyed sock yarn, which worked up and then dyed with food coloring. Ooh, gosh, I am just getting yarn all up. This end of this skein of yarn is just, it's not liking me today, you guys. I probably should have done the smart thing and balled it up before, but no. Nope, not me. Christine Little says, what is a milland? So whenever they are going through the process of creating the yarn and balling up the yarn is on these huge cones or on these huge wheels. So they send it through the machines, and the machines wind it into the balls or the skeins, the hanks, however it is. They measure out the specific length that they are supposed to be. And if it gets to the end and there's not enough to make up the weight, the grams, or the specific yardage, then they have to cut it, and it just sits there. And a lot of companies throw them away. A lot of companies that, like Red Heart, you know, a lot of people complain about the knots in skeins. The reason that happens is because companies don't sell their mill-ins. They simply take a new cone or they take a new wheel, and a worker will walk over to that specific section. They will tie them together, and they will send the machine back through working. But a lot of the companies that don't have, the mandala yarns, they don't have a lot of knots in them, and that's because Lion Brand sells the mill-ins. So if a company sells their mill-ins, then most of the time you're not going to run into issues of finding knots within your balls or your skeins of yarn. Brenda said, we knew each other for 3 months and went to the Little Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, and we've been 21 years now. Wow. Good job, Brenda. Kim posted a link to the Bendigo Mills back room from a few years ago. Woo! I'm so sorry to hear that, Eva. But you're not alone. You have us. We're through the internet, but you have us. I hope I explained the mill-ins thing to you guys properly to where you can understand it. It's very neat. I forget who it was. I think it was Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. He is the brand ambassador for Yarnspirations, which owns Karen and Bernat yarns and things like that. He actually went on a behind-the-scenes tour of one of their why can't I? My words just aren't coming to me this evening. He went to one of their mills and filmed a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff from there. So you can actually go see the process, and you can see the people once it gets to the end of this big cone. You can watch somebody come over and pick up that cone and replace it and tie them together, so they keep going. Dum dum. I think I only have 3 more granny squares to make, you guys. That's it. And then I get to tie in or weave in all of those ends. And it's times like this that I really wish that I was in Australia, because people like Leanne. Leanne lives over there and she loves to weave in ends. Hey, Freaky Geek. We were missing you earlier. Ida did you a solid, and I forget what it was now, but you were missed, and Ida said, if Freaky Geek were here, this is where they would say this. Kim Nielsen said, alpaca is not a yarn I have ever bought before, and I got it in a subscription box, which is why I get sub boxes, as I receive yarn I wouldn't usually purchase, like the knit crate Stephanie gets. Nice segue. Yes, subscription boxes are awesome for that. I've gotten a lot of bases in my knit crate that I've never seen before, or I've never felt before. Some of them I really enjoy, some of them I don't. I am not a big fan of wool. So if it has a high wool content in it and doesn't have something else to soften it out, then I'm not going to like it. But, you know, it's still a great way to get introduced to new types of yarn. Freaky said, no, actually Canada is about half a day behind. Who says that we're not behind? They're just too excited and they're just jumping forward. And yes, Kim has a point. There's wool and then there's wool. And I was talking about this, well, I wanted to talk about it in my review of the Pantone and Karen. That Pantone yarn is merino wool, 20% merino wool, and I can't even feel it. And normally I can immediately feel if something has wool in it. Even if it's merino wool, I can normally feel it. So that's a good thing about that yarn. And I did compare it to another yarn, you know, that had that it was missing the nylon in it, but it was 80% acrylic and 20% wool. And that probably doesn't feel anywhere close to what the Pantone one feels like, because it just says wool. And if somebody's paying the extra money for merino wool, then they're going to put it on there. So I don't think that was merino wool, but still, my thoughts still stand on the Pantone. Hello, Kim Miller. First time catching us live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the chat. I'm glad you're here and you can participate. Freaky said, hang on tight. The lives can get kind of real here. Well, yes, they can. And now Freaky's here. So now I have to really be on my toes and make sure that I pre-read everything before I say it out loud. Lots of people are allergic to wool. Yes, lots of people are allergic to wool, which is a bummer. And that's a problem with a lot of subscription boxes, because a lot of subscription boxes do have wool in their bases. So I know a lot of people, unfortunately, that can't partake in the subscription boxes because of that. Christine Little says, have you tried the Chic Sheep by Marley Bird wool yarn? That is amazing yarn and I love it. So nice to granny square crochet with. I have not. I have not. I have thought about it, but I don't live in a place that has a store that I can walk into that has it. And it's one of those things where I don't really want to spend the money on it unless I can feel it first. I probably should just get it and review it, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't done it for whatever reason. Yay, more Kims. We have, oh yes, Kim Miller. There's lots of Kims around here. Lots of Kims. But that's okay. The Kims are fun. Kim said, I can work with it if I don't spend hours at a time, but I can't wear it next to my skin. It doesn't stop me from buying it. I just said there are more stores getting Chic Sheep yarn. I thought that it was exclusive to some store. Am I thinking about another? I thought that there was at least one store. I thought it was exclusive to one store for a while. I could be wrong. Because they say, oh, I would love, love your review. You will love it. It's like butter. See, but here's the problem with that. people always think that they love things, and then I review it, or we get to talking about it in the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group, and then I break everything down and I get all analytical on it, and then all of a sudden nobody loves it again. So that's why, Marley Bird is a fellow YouTuber, and I kind of have this policy where, I don't want to, I really want to support my fellow YouTubers, and I would feel kind of awful if I got it and I didn't like it. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. Rebecca said, I always wondered what people did back in the day, 1800 or earlier, if they were allergic to wool. Do you know what they did? They used cotton. Cotton is, they're old, like old. They found 3,000-year-old cotton in Mexico. What is that city in Mexico? I don't have my notes on me because for like the past month and a half, I've been researching cotton so I can do a video for Yarn Tales for you guys. What is that? There is a city down there, like the super old city with the pyramids at it. Anywho, 3,000-year-old cotton. People have been using cotton for that long. Can you believe it? It's crazy. They used cotton. Kim, they did not run, well, some people might have run around naked. I can't say that. I don't think it's, no, I don't think that's what it is. I'm going to have to go back to my notes. It might be, though. Ida said it was exclusive, I think, to Hobby Lobby. They picked up like 8 colors. Now Joanne is picking up all the colors real soon. That's what I thought. I thought it was exclusive to somebody. Sally got a little sample ball of Chic Sheep, and it was very soft. Well, I will have to check it out. I don't remember which one it was. I really don't. I'm sitting here trying to think of what it was. It was crazy. It was like a huge metropolitan city, massive city, that just like all of a sudden one day they just abandoned it. Oh, it'll come to me at 3 o'clock in the morning, no doubt. It'll come to me. My notes are out in the living room in my notebook, so I don't have it with me. But I thought that was really crazy. And something else, hello, live, little live tidbit of information. Most of you guys know that I am from South Carolina, and I am from the Sea Islands. So cotton was a big part of our economy, and growing up there, it was a big part of our history, so we all learned about it. Did you guys know that Eli Whitney did not actually invent the cotton gin? I was flabbergasted. I walked around this house for like 3 days, just in a stupor, once I learned that Eli Whitney did not invent the cotton gin. I never even questioned it. It's what we were taught in school. It was always the big thing. You know, you go to all of the museums, and every single museum that you go to in the low country of South Carolina or Georgia, everybody's always talking about Eli Whitney and the Sea Island cotton and the cotton gin and all of that. It's its claim to fame, and it's not true. I was so upset. Kim said you can do a live update us at 3 a.m. Whew. Have mercy. I might actually still be up at 3 a.m. because I have to film a square for that crochet along that I'm working on. So I might still be up at 3 a.m. D. Thompson says, Pantone is at Michael's and Hobby Lobby has the Chic Sheep. I'm working with both and I like them fine, just not the price. How much is a ball of Chic Sheep? Y'all, am I gonna get upset about this? Kim said Eli was the first to secure the patent. That's true. He was the first to secure the patent, but people in India had been using cotton gins for like 500 years before Eli Whitney developed or got the patent on his cotton gin. People in India for 500 years had been using handheld cotton gins, and then like 200 years before Eli did his, they started with like water-powered cotton gins in India. We were never taught that in school. Eli Whitney was a god. Kim Nielsen said, thank you, Stephanie, for the photos from your local fair. I love seeing the items and you looking for in Arizona. I dropped off my entries 2 days ago at my local show. Aw, you are very welcome. I was thinking about you guys as I was walking through there and looking at all of that stuff. I was kind of bummed. Well, I mean, it was a weird thing because, you know, they're not my designs, the gypsy shawl and the Arizona. They're not my designs, but I filmed the tutorials for them, so they have a special place in my heart. So whenever I go to things like that, I'm always looking for Arizonas, and throughout the different Facebook groups, and people are posting pictures of their county fairs and the people that have entered things in there. I'm always looking to see if I can spot an Arizona or a gypsy shawl. I probably would have like just been plumb giddy if I would have seen an Arizona or a gypsy shawl there. I don't know how I would have reacted, but I was looking. The price of Chic Sheep is steep. $9.99 for 3.5 ounces, 186 yards. Worsted. Shut my mouth. Is it 100% merino wool? What is it? I'm gonna need some help. Whew. %100% merino wool. Mass produced. I don't know. I'll have to. See, this is why we shouldn't talk about these things live, because while my mouth can tell a lie, my face cannot tell a lie. Just sitting there like, woo! Lord have mercy. Here's a virtual drink. I do need a drink. That made me catch my breath there for a second. Have mercy. Let me go back up. How many stinking yards? Where are you? 186 yards. Hold on. Hold on. That's 5 cents per yard. Where's it made? Does anybody have a sleeve? Where is it made? Christine said, I know I covered my face when you read my comment. Brenda Smith said, my dad was a night watchman at the cotton gin in Frederick, Oklahoma, and then they got a hot bale of cotton and caught fire and it burned down. Oh no! Hello, Rochelle. She said that she's made lots of the blankets and stuff. Yay! It's made in China. Y'all really want me to review that? Mercy. I will see about ordering some. Cotton is very flammable. You know what else is super flammable? Sugar. Lord have mercy. I lived in South Carolina. My hometown is about a 30-minute drive from Savannah, Georgia. And they have one of the Dixie Crystals factories there in Savannah, Georgia. And they had an explosion at that sugar factory. And when it exploded, 30-minute drive away from where it was, and it broke windows in my hometown. Like, it was absolutely horrible. It burned for days. Rochelle, I am making a blanket for my grandbaby. Is what I am making. Let me see. Kim Nelson is having to jet out. We'll see you soon, Kim. Thanks for hanging out. Christy said the color palette is beautiful. I'm done talking about it. Oh, I'm sure it is. You know, like the Pantone colors, some of their colors are absolutely gorgeous. Y'all are just going to have to bear with me because I can't handle this mess anymore. I've been fighting it. I can't handle it. The Pantone colors, there's a lot of beautiful colors in that yarn. I mean, I just can't. I can't. Ida's probably going to fuss at me at any moment because she's probably got a better way of doing this, and I'm probably going to make her eye twitch. Just so you know. Hello, Nancy. Welcome to the chat. Eva said, I can't move. My fur baby is on my lap. I know those feelings. I know those feelings all too well. What is going on? Lord. Y'all know what? I ain't doing it. A fur baby is an animal, a cat or a dog. Brenda said that the insurance people tried to blame it on her dad because he smoked, but they found out it wasn't his fault. Aw, such a bummer. Sally said, I'm assuming that Chic Sheep is made in Turkey like the rest of Red Heart yarn. You know what, Sally? The vast majority of Red Heart yarn I found out when I was working up my database and I was going through the hundreds of different types of yarn that Red Heart has made. The vast majority of their yarns are actually made in China. They do have some that are made in Turkey, but the vast majority of them are made in China. Nancy said, that's what I do when my yarn tangles like that. I'll figure that mess out later. Ain't got time for that. What is merino wool? Merino wool comes from a merino sheep. And the merino sheep is a cross from two other types of sheep, but they were first bred in Australia and New Zealand almost at the exact same time. But it's wool that comes from a specific type of sheep called the merino sheep. Also, this skein does not feel like that skein. It's the same thing, but it sure does feel a lot thicker. Hello, Bob Wilson 123. We have a celebrity in the house, y'all. Dun dun. Bob Wilson says merino yarn is so wonderful and soft. It can be. Depends on how it's processed, I think, because I've felt some merino wool that was just horrible. Like where I wanted to write the company and say, what did you do? Did you just walk into your backyard with a comb? See. Rochelle said, can you make a heart with your hands? I probably could if my hands weren't busy crocheting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay. So this is my second one. I will only need one more after this and then we will be done. And I managed to somehow get these spun around and I don't know how I did it, of course. So now I can't see which one is moving. There we go. She's going to crochet this week because I didn't last week. Yeah, that's no joke. I didn't get to crochet at all last week, did I? There were some people that weren't happy about that. I felt kind of bad. What did I do? Did I crochet over my line? Whew. All right. Bob Wilson says woolen spun yarn is not as soft. It needs to be worsted spun so all the fibers line up. The prickly is all the fibers sticking out. If it is worsted spun, they all lay flat. See, I don't know. I have to research more about that stuff because I know that I've heard Chantel talking about that before. And I was wondering about that. I was going to talk to Chantel about that because, you know, she spins yarn. Doing my research for the cotton, it's the same thing with cotton. That's why the cotton gin is so important. Because Bob, we were talking about the cotton gin earlier. The cotton gin turns all of the fibers of the cotton to lay in that way too. So it makes sense. And I guess some people just don't, some companies don't pay as close attention as the other ones. Another topic for yarn tales. Yes, that's true. I just said if you research that, you might start spinning yarn. You know what? I just had somebody who asked me the other day, somebody asked me the other day if I had ever thought about dyeing my own yarn, and the answer is yes. Yes, I absolutely have, because it would be super nice to have exactly what I want when I want it right now. But the problem is that I have a very, very addictive personality, and I am OCD. So when I get onto something, I really, really get on to something. And if I start a new something, then I will end up becoming obsessed with it, and I won't crochet. So that's why I don't dye my own yarn. That's why I haven't learned how to spin. That's why I haven't learned how to knit when all of my friends now, my online friends, are everybody's going on this campaign to learn how to knit. That's why I haven't done it, because once I get into something, I will stay in it for ages and ages and just abandon all the other things. Bob Wilson has a link and she's going to send it to, that's Claire, by the way. Claire is Bob Wilson, and I feel weird calling her Bob Wilson, so if I say Claire, that's Bob Wilson 123. Daigo, hi! Welcome. Kim said, try all the things. No, I cannot try all of the things. I will. Please believe me. I've lived with myself for all of these years. Believe me, there was like, I get so obsessive about things. I gave myself sun poisoning 2 different times from gardening, because I would go out and every free moment that I had, I was in my garden and I was doing something. I would forget to eat from sun up until sundown, and then even, you know, I would turn on the lights in the yard so I could see my garden and I could keep working. I really do have an obsessive personality, and I have to be super careful with what I do, because I'll just get into it and, you know, just forget about everything else. Bob said, "You can call me anything." See. Kim said, "You won't abandon crochet." I might come back to it eventually. Marilyn says she knits, crochets, quilts, felts, and sews, but she goes from one thing to another. You know, my good friend Maxine, who is a moderator over in the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group, she lives in New Zealand, and Lord, I swear there is nothing that woman can't do. I am constantly in awe of her, and it's like every day she's posting another project that she's completed of a different craft, and I'm going, gosh, where do you find the time? It's crazy. All right, so Claire has given Kim a link. Make sure you right click on it so you can save it for later, but that's how yarn is produced. I'm going to have to come back to that so I can go and look at it, because I have a feeling that that's going to be a very good thing for research for yarn tales. Kim says, I crochet, knit, weave, sew, and decorate cakes. Whew. Aw, Daigo. Daigo said that I look fabulous. You want me to tell you something? I was in such a crazy rush today when I was getting ready and putting on my face and everything. I forgot to put gel in my hair. So my hair is an absolute mess. And I was halfway through diffusing my hair before I realized that I forgot to put gel in it, and I wasn't about to re-wet it to put gel in it. Eva crochets, beading, just learning to knit, and just started diamond painting. Whew. You guys, I am envious of all of you guys. For years, I embroidered. I used to embroider, would do like tapestry in embroidery, huge scenes and things like that. And I would spend hours and hours and hours leaning over big stands with fabric on it and doing the embroidery on those. But that's about, you know, my only other crafty claim to fame that I have besides crochet. I don't think I have any other. I'm not a very talented person, you guys. I'm just not great at a whole lot of things, but I was good at embroidery. My eyes just, I started getting a lot of headaches, so I couldn't do it for any lengthy amount of time, so I just stopped doing it. Kim said, I think we need some hobbies that promote weight loss to counter those ones. Lord. That would require, you know, like going outside and being active and probably, you know, like moving around, and I don't know. Rebecca says your hair looks nice. My hair looks great. It doesn't look like a mess. It looks great. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Rebecca. Daigo says that she knits a little and she does cake piñatas. Football moms. Wow. Eva says that her daughter tells her that she has way too many hobbies. Yeah, you know, and then I would end up like my cousin, because my cousin, she crochets. I think she can knit too, but she started quilting, and now she's making these beautiful, beautiful quilts. But she has this whole room filled with yarn that puts my stash to shame, and she doesn't have time to work with it, you guys. Because, you know, she works, she's a nurse, and, you know, she's grandma, and she's a wife, and she has a family to take care of, and there's only so many hours in the day. And I don't want to split my time. I like crochet. How do you know if you are great if you don't try them? Well, you don't. That's true. Nancy crochets, knits, embroidery, sews, cooks, and bakes. Whew. Plus, you can't expect to be great on your first try. That's very true. Crochet, knit, garden, hunt, fish, etc. Y'all. Kim got told that she was an overachiever. Claire said, I just popped in to say hello. Don't forget to like the video, everyone. I have lots of videos that need editing. I know those feelings, Claire. Thanks for popping in for a little bit. We appreciate it. Nancy is having to run as well. We have about 45 minutes left here. Becky said, tell her that you need all of her yarn. She did a stash out, when was it, last year? She went through and she was cleaning up some of her stuff, and she sent me, she had bought a kit to make Mandala Madness, and it had sat there, and she had never, you know, even opened it and looked at it. So she sent that to me, and she sent me some other yarns, but she has this thing that whenever she travels, wherever she goes to a local yarn store, she finds one, and she purchases yarn, and that is her memory of her trip. So she has yarn from all over the place, and even places that she hasn't been, because her husband went on a trip to Paris and brought her back oodles of Parisian yarn. So that was, I got to feel that when I went home on vacation, and it's very nice. Very, very nice. Good night, Linda. Let's see. Oh, is Nancy Hildebrand going too? Did I miss her saying goodbye? Nancy Hildebrand, if you're leaving, bye-bye. I will see you next week or in the Facebook group. Goodbye, Dee. Let's see. What all haven't we talked about this week? What did we talk about last week? What was I looking at? Oh, Vinny's colors. Is Parisian yarn chic and thin and wears berets? No. No. It was very pudgy. It was very, very fluffy and pudgy. We didn't talk about keto yet. Look. It's not going well, you guys. It's not going well at all. Since Catherine's father passed, there has been so much food coming in to this place. It has not been going well, and I still feel horrible. I feel like I've been on a downward spiral since I went on vacation. Because while I was on vacation, I cheated a lot. But I feel like it's gotten worse since then. You know, when I went out of town, and I probably could have eaten things like salads and things like that when I was out of town. But all of these people keep bringing over all of this food, and they're still bringing over food, and I just feel bad. Or dead yarn on the rug. Lord, I can't tell you how many times that has happened to me. Jeez. Haven't embroidered for a long time. Been crocheting for about 50 years. Whew, bet you're really good at it, Eva. Brenda said, I started embroidery when I was 14. I started embroidering, I think I was 13 when I learned to embroider. It was either 13 or 14 when I learned how to embroider. Kim said there will be time later to diet. Yes, that is very true. But in the meantime, since I haven't been eating properly, I can feel the difference in, you know, my body. One of the side effects that I was having with keto is I was dealing with really, really bad insomnia. When I was eating keto, which wasn't all that bad because I was staying up late to film videos. But now, like, come 8 o'clock, like by the time this live chat is over, I'm just going to be spent. And I know that I need to stay up because I have 3 videos that I absolutely must film tonight. So I know that I do need to stay up, but I'm tired. I have no energy since I've been eating all of this crap, and it's not great. Kim said, I did cross stitch for the first time earlier this year. Wow, I remember my grandmother buying me a little cross stitch kit when I was, gosh, I want to say like 7 or 8 was when I learned how to cross stitch. I never really became a big fan of it because I didn't like how you could see the X's, and it just didn't sit right with me. And I think that it's because, you know, now that I'm an adult, I think it's because I do have OCD and I can see it, which is the reason why I didn't like it. But I did cross stitch a lot when I was very young. My OCD is so bad that I don't even like looking at, you know, when most people work granny squares, if it's in a solid color, they will just turn their work and they will work back around here, and then they'll turn their work again because some people get the slanting when they're working their granny squares. I can't do that because this looks completely different from this. I don't like the back of stitches, and it would make me crazy if I could see the back of the stitches. Like this one would be the front side, and then this row would be the back side, and then we'd be front side again. No. I can't. Oh, I can't do it. So if I'm working in a solid color and doing something like that, I will cut off my yarn and I will reattach in a different corner and on the opposite side and weave in an end so I don't slant, because I can't do it. But that's my own personal issues. Just little things that we deal with in life. Becky says that she loves to cross stitch, and so does Marianne. Kim said, you know what, when it was Granny Square Day, I was looking at the photos on Insta, and some of them had that, and some they took the photo of the back. Yeah, I can see them. Kim said she was yelling at the screen, that's the back! There are a lot of people that turn them, though. I just, and they're okay with it. I can't get with it. Rebecca said, I prefer the counted cross stitch over the fabric with the designs on them. Yeah. I think I only ever did one where it was the fabric. I think it was the first one that my grandmother bought me, the fabric where the design was already on them, and I had to cross stitch over it. Marianne said, when my crochet mojo disappears, I pick up the cross stitching or needlepoint, a fiber addiction. Hey, whatever it is that you need to do, no judgment here. Brenda said, I'm also working on a corner-to-corner blanket, and it will be 10 feet long when I get through with it. Lord! Did I say Rebecca? Brenda said that, not Rebecca. Kim said some weren't even turned after each round, so they just took a photo of the back for some reason. It's weird. Eva said she's going to do a corner-to-corner blanket in red, white, and blue. Those are addictive, you guys. You guys will get into corner-to-corner, and then all of a sudden you'll lose your life. You'll lose years of your life, and you'll turn back around, and you'll go, where did all of the time go? And as you're looking around, there'll be nothing but corner-to-corner blankets all around you. It's one of those things that, just, once you get into the groove of it, you know, you're there. So it's really super easy to sit in front of the TV and make those and not have to count so much. Kim said, when I was crocheting beanies on the weekend while I was at gymnastics with my son, there was a lady sitting next to me who asked what I was making, and I told her I was making a beanie, and she said it was great and she always wanted to learn how to knit. I bit my tongue and said, thank you. You should. Yes, that was very kind of you, Kim. It's very, very kind of you. She said, but I wanted to say, once you learn to knit, you'll know it's crochet. Oh, poor things. Okay, that one, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're done with that one. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. One more. We have about 30 minutes left. Dum, dum, dum. Wonder if I should be able to get this one done in 30 minutes. Yeah, no problem. Kim said, I think internally I'm a horrible person. You're not a horrible person, Kim. You're not a horrible person at all. Rebecca Nelson said, I never mastered the corner-to-corner stitch. Not all tutorials on it are created equally. I have gone back and forth with doing a tutorial for it on my channel, just because a lot of people say, you know, like with my magic ring tutorial, there are a lot of people who say, I've tried to do that a gazillion different ways and watched all of these tutorials and I never got it until I watched yours. So, but there's so many tutorials on YouTube for the corner-to-corner stitch. I don't know. Hello, Kimberly from Magnolia, Texas. Becky said, it drives me crazy when people ask what you are knitting. It's clearly crochet, people. Well, they don't know. They don't know. Bless their hearts. They just don't know. It's not their fault. The Kims are taking over. And there's a lot of people from Texas. Did I miss a stitch? No, I didn't. I was about to be upset. Dum, dum, dum. Well, one left, so we're back to 3. Yes, but you guys are just taking over. Mary Ann said, my husband calls everything needlepoint, but he knows the difference. Christy said, my nickname at work is Nana. Do they call you Nana because people think that crochet is an old lady thing? I hate that stereotype. Kim said, Marianne, I feel like he's baiting you. Kim feels like Marianne's husband is baiting her. I feel that way too. Okay. Next color. Kim's Rule. I don't know about ruling, but I do happen to care a great deal about some Kims. I love my Kims. Ugh. My hands are starting to hurt from working with this yarn, and it's beginning to become painful, but I only have this one square left, and then I can start weaving in the ends, so I am pushing through it. There are some people, lots of people love this yarn, and they work with it all the time, and they say, I love it, I won't use anything else. I'm like, gosh, I don't know how you do it. Lord. There's this woman, one of my old coworkers here. She was kind of like a caregiver to this woman who was in her 90s. And all this woman does all day long, from the time she wakes up until the time she goes to sleep, and the only time she stops is for bathroom breaks and to eat her meals, is sit there and crochet. I walked into her house, and every single last one of you, if it wasn't nothing but red heart, you would die, because there wasn't a single bare wall anywhere around. She had shelves and shelves and shelves of red heart yarn, just skeins from the floor all the way up to the ceiling, just skeins of yarn. And that was all that she used. And for hours, like 18 hours a day, this woman sits there and crochets. I couldn't do it. Could not do it. Kim said one of the girls in my local group gets called Granny because she crochets, so she made a granny stitch triangle brooch and wears it to work. That's funny. Ida said, I think Kims are magnetically drawn to you. I think so too. We have a lot of Kims. And only one Ida. Ooh. Did y'all hear that loud boom? I normally don't like to do this, but I think this is my time where I have to leave you guys for just 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. Boys. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness, Chantel's here. Hi, Chantel. Let's see. No, I am not wearing pajamas because I was worried, Kim, from our last conversation over in Claire's live. I was worried that you were going to force me to get up and that I would be in my pajama bottoms and everybody would see. Whew. No blood? Nope. No blood. No. Everything's okay. It's just boys being boys, saying goodbye to each other. Fiberific said it's still empty, just getting ready for VidCon. For those of you who don't know, Fiberific just got a new building for HQ, and it got delivered yesterday? I think it was yesterday. So we're all very excited to see the inside of it. And I'm even more excited that she's going to VidCon. So if you happen to be in the Melbourne area, Fiberific is having a meetup in Melbourne, a lunchtime meetup. Hello, Darla. Welcome. Eva said she's getting ready for her PJs. I won't be far behind you. I will be there very, very, very soon. Kim said I didn't even have to do anything. Nope, you didn't even have to do anything because it was the boys that did it this time. You should do a quick walkthrough of the dojo. Yes, I agree. A quick walkthrough. But if it slows you down from getting to go and meet James Turner, then I will forego the dojo walkthrough. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. And once again, Leanne was right, because here we are talking about VidCon and James Turner. But I love him so much. Oh, hello, Saul. That's okay. Oh, Fiberific said Friday 12 noon at the Metropolitan Hotel RSVP in the Fiberific Fun Zone on Facebook. She does have an event there, so if you're in the Melbourne area, you can go and meet Chantel in person, and you can hang out with her over lunch. Yay! That would be so much fun. Come on, go through there. Kim said, got your Stephanie mask ready? Yeah! Do you have your mask ready for whenever you meet James Turner? It'd be so hilarious. He would probably think that you were a nutter. Lord have mercy. Thank you very much, Saul. Let me see. HMRBRD. Hello. Welcome. I just said it's so fun to have new crafters here. It is. We've had a lot of new faces in the chat tonight. It's very, very nice. Chantel said, I wish I could guarantee that I was going to meet James Turner. You know what, Chantel? I'm really just messing with you because I don't have, if you happen to, you know, like run into him somewhere, you know, like you're staying in the same hotel. Wait, I actually think that he lives in Sydney. So he would be staying in a hotel. I mean, if you happen to run into him, I would be super jealous and super excited for you. But I'm not expecting that at all. I don't even think that anybody's going to be able to get close to him from all of the fangirls that are going to be around him. Oh, Hummingbird. Okay, that makes sense. Hello, Hummingbird. Welcome. Becky said, I have 4 grandsons, but sadly no granddaughters. Aw, it'll come, Becky. Dyko said, uh-oh, James Turner talk. I love me some James Turner. I do. I really do. I wonder what the difference is between VidCon in Australia and VidCon that they hold here in Los Angeles. I wonder what the major differences are. Like, I'm glad that they hold several for people that, you know, can't fly across the world. But I do know that James Turner went to VidCon in Los Angeles, so I'm hoping that he's going to go to the one there in Melbourne. Because that would just ruin all kinds of plans. Did I skip a stitch? Yes, I did. Start talking about James Turner and I just get all excited and start missing stitches. Here we go. Whew. Have mercy. Thank you, Kim. I am making a blanket hummingbird from Granny Squares. That's all it is. Fiberific said, huge difference is a lot of big YouTubers don't come to Australia. But do you think that your Australian YouTubers will go to it? Because he's an Aussie. You know, I don't know. I mean, like, I know that you're not going there for the fangirl part of it. You're actually going there for the seminars and stuff to learn for your channel, but still, that's a bummer. Aw. I'm sorry, Becky. Let's see, what was I going to say about VidCon? You guys probably don't even care what VidCon is, do you? Some do, but it's surprising how many don't. Well, I hope for you that there will be a lot of folks there that you'll get to meet and learn from, because that's the whole point of it. Everybody's talking about the grandbabies' ages. Claire doesn't go to VidCon? Wow. But you know what? Like, I think the group that we are in, the niche that we are in, we don't really fit in with most of the people that go to VidCon. I think, you know, for me, you know, next year I'm not going to go to VidCon. I'm going to go to the Crochet Guild of America conference, because, you know, those are more people that are within our niche. Even though I do pay attention to a lot of the YouTubers where we learn about the back end of YouTube and how all of the algorithms and all of that stuff work, I still don't think that I would get as much benefit from going to VidCon as I would going to the conference for the Crochet Guild of America. But then again, I've never really looked into VidCon. She said, heaps of people to catch up with, and I bought new shoes. I'm glad that you bought new shoes so your feet are not going to hurt. Eva is going to bow out for the evening. Good night, Eva. Nancy said, you are giving me an idea for a baby blanket. How will you put them together? I am going to, hold on, let me fasten off this row there. I made this very big granny square here, and I am going to take these smaller ones and I am going to attach them to this big granny square as a join as you go method, and then after that I don't know what I'm going to do, but we will figure it out. Kim said, I wonder if they do workshops for stalkers. I mean followers. You're so funny. And then Chantel said, funnily enough, Kim, there are panels for the community tickets. Hummingbird said, do you go to any fiber festivals? I have not been to a fiber festival in a really, really, really long time, and I am trying to figure out what my schedule is going to be for 2019. I don't know where I am going to be if I am still in this current location. There is a fiber festival in Colorado that is only, I think it's like 5 hours away from me. So I may be attending that one. I have a lot of Texas folks that are subscribers, so I may be looking at maybe a festival in Texas, but I am, as of right now, the only thing that's on my schedule for next year is the Crochet Guild of America conference in July. How to be a better stalker, jumping on and playing first and last comment. Jeez. Lord have mercy. I just said, call a spade a spade. You are a stalker. It's so funny. I said that exact same thing to her because she was my first Patreon subscriber, and I hadn't even told anybody about it yet. The only person I had talked to about it was Chantel and Emma from Pip and Poppycock. I hadn't told anybody else about it, and then all of a sudden, a couple hours before the live stream started, I got an email saying that I had a Patreon, and it was Kim, or I had a patron, and it was Kim, and I was like, how did you find out about it? And she said, you titled your live stream, and I was like, oh. Kim said, you should come to Australia. You have lots of subscribers here. I know that I do, but it's like $2,500 just to fly to Australia. And I know that there's a bunch of folks there that said, hey, you know, like, you could sleep at my house one night, and then another one said, you could sleep at my house another night, but still $2,500 is a lot of cash to pop out just to go. But I would totally go. It is something that I really want to do. Hummingbird said, any in California? No, I do not have any plans to go to California. I was supposed to be in California 2 weekends ago. I was supposed to be in LA 2 weeks ago, but that did not happen for obvious reasons, but that has to be rescheduled. Where is the Crochet Guild conference being held? This year, it is being held in Manchester, New Hampshire, which is in the Boston area. It switches each year. They have the United States broken up into 4 different portions, and each year it rotates between them. So I think next year, because this year it was in Portland, next year it's in New Hampshire, so I think the following year after that it'll be in the South, and then it'll be in the Southwest after that. I think it's the second week of July in New Hampshire. Marianne said, I've never been to a fiber festival and no idea what VidCon is. VidCon is, most people think that it's just about gamers and things like that, but it's really not. It's a conference that is put on by YouTube, and it's where all of the people on the platform can get together, where fans of people can go and they can stand in line for hours and do meet and greets. They talk about new features that are coming up. There's classes that you can attend to learn about the features that we already have, or how to build your channel, things like that. But most people just go to VidCon so they can meet the people that they watch on YouTube and get autographs and things like that. That's what VidCon is. Dago said, I have family in Houston. I was just in Houston not too long ago for a whole 4 hours. I had a 4-hour layover in Houston. But I told you all about that. I got off the plane in Houston and my hair went... Because I'm in the desert and I'm not used to humidity. My hair didn't know what to do with itself. Kimberly said there is a dinner festival in June in Houston, Texas. A dinner festival? Ooh, that sounds like something I could get on board with. See, I got out of keto. I've been out of keto for a month, and now I'm like, ooh, food, all the food, everywhere. Oh, I need to calm myself down is what I need to do. Kimberly said, I've never been to this fiber festival, but I can't wait to go. Which fiber festival? Because you said dinner festival in June in Houston. Did autocorrect get you? Is there a fiber festival in Houston in June? Houston is still a ways away from me, though. I would have to take a plane to get to Houston. Why can't the cool stuff come to Lubbock? No. Bye, Chantel. She said, I'm hoping to do a little live tomorrow if I make it to the airport in time. She's going to live from the airport. That's funny. Be safe, Chantel. Please enjoy your trip if I don't get to talk to you on your live tomorrow. There's the last square, you guys. I'm so excited. And then all of a sudden, good feeling gone, because look at all those ends. Lord have mercy, look at all those ends. Oh, and there's the ends from the... What's that? Pantone. Lord, all of these ends. Whew. Lots and lots and lots of ends to tie in, y'all. This is my life. Sally is leaving. Yep, it's about that time. We got about 9 minutes left before the end of chat, so it's time for everybody's going to be heading out. Ida likes to weave ends. Okay, Ida, what I'm going to do is I'm going to overnight all of this to you. Just going to send you all my ends. As if I don't work you enough with doing all of the closed captioning on my videos. I'm just going to send you my ends too. Kim said you're supposed to be there hours ahead of your flight so you can live with us while you're waiting. I'm sure you'll get no weird looks. You know what? It's VidCon, so she can absolutely live chat from the airport. Nobody's going to think any different of her. There's going to be other people there. Dum, dum, dum. Quick before she changes her mind. Yeah. Do you see all of the ends that have to be woven in? Lord have mercy. This is just one of those sit down in front of the TV and just watch projects. Oh, yeah, you're right. She'll be chatting from your airport, not the one in Melbourne. Well, is she leaving out of Brisbane? You never know. There might be other YouTubers there in Brisbane that she doesn't know about. It could be. We don't know. Kimberly said, any advice for a new crocheter? Don't go all crazy and buy crazy expensive yarn. Don't go... Yes, hold on. My biggest tip. Hold on. Pause for dramatic effect. Don't go and buy yarn like this. Can you see this yarn? Don't go and buy yarn like this if you're brand new to crocheting. Because this is a roving yarn and it has a very, very bad halo on it. It's beautiful yarn to work with, but it has a halo on it and it's hard to frog, which is undo your work if you make a mistake. Don't do that. Don't look at crazy yarns and go, oh, this is pretty. And then you're just going to get home and you're going to try to work with it and you're going to get frustrated and you're going to give up. Just don't do that to yourself. Just get a plain Jane yarn and learn to crochet with it. Kim said, stick with cheap yarn and cheap hooks so you never get tempted to spend your life savings. Oh, geez. Yeah. I did a video, gosh, must have been a couple months back now, but it's all about the new crocheter, and it's not a video on learning new crochet stitches. It's nothing like that. It's about the person who says, okay, I want to learn to do that. And they go to the store and they're standing in front of all of this yarn and they just get overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. So it's like step one of what you need to do to start crocheting. And I have a lot of tips in that video that you might find helpful. Yes, practice, practice, practice. And small projects are very, very good, because you'll finish them and the sense of accomplishment will be great, versus I'm going to do a king size granny square blanket and it's going to take you a year to finish. Amy said, I am new to crochet and I started with light colors as it's easier to see your stitches. That's a very, very good point, guys. I think somebody else, maybe Kim or somebody above, mentioned that. Crocheting with dark colors like black and very dark brown, very, very dark purple, things like that, they're very, very, very hard to see. So start with light colors, because it's hard to see where your stitches go and you'll end up making more mistakes. Kim said, if you can't get a technique or a stitch down, then try a different teacher or source. Not all people have the same learning style. Again, too true. Very, very, very true. Going through here. God, I hate tying in ends, you guys. I really do. I hate them. He hates them. I hate them oh so much. But they have to be done, unfortunately. Kim said, does it kill your OCD when the tail doesn't match the stitch color because it's variegated? Girl, you have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. It's another reason why I can't with variegated yarn. My OCD, you know, like, there are a lot of people that have OCD a lot worse than I do, and it affects their lives a whole lot worse than me. So I try really, really hard not to complain about my OCD, but I see yarns all the time that I would love to work with, and I think that they're beautiful, and then I spend money on it, and I come back, and I absolutely hate them because my brain just won't let me process them. Hummingbird said, and everybody holds the yarn and the hook differently. Find what works for you. Ain't that the truth? Don't let Nazis tell you that you have to hold your hook this specific way. Everybody holds their hook differently. You hold it however it's most comfortable for you. I have lots of ideas. That's why I can't use variegated or self-striping for granny squares, because when you work in the round, the join is a different color. Ugh. Don't I know it? I know it, I know it, I know it. I hate it. I hate it oh so much. Alright, go down this stitch. Becky said, Stephanie is an awesome teacher. Oh, thank you. I've been crocheting close to 50 years and learn new things all the time. I learned to make the magic knot from Stephanie. I am so glad that I was able to help you. Crochet hooks is a whole thing within itself, because crochet hooks are a very, very personal thing. I think everybody has that drawer of crochet hooks. Oh, stop. If you have a local yarn store, see if they have a social group you can join. Sometimes it helps to be shown in person when you're having trouble. Yes, that's very true. Which way did I just come from? There we go. Rebecca said, not me. Not me either. My local yarn store was supposed to start doing stitching gatherings, but they haven't. Ooh. Okay, guys, well, that is where we are going to stop for this week. I cannot promise that I'm going to weave in all of these all of these ends before next week's chat, but I will try to work on them because I'm sure you guys sitting here watching me weave in ends is not all that exciting, but it is time for the chat to end. It was great hanging out with you guys. It really was. It was great to see all kinds of new people here mixed in with the old faces. Don't forget that tomorrow night, Chantel, she's probably not going to stream for the normal amount of time that she does. As you guys saw, she's going to be traveling, but same time tomorrow evening for Chantel's channel, and then Sunday, Pip and Poppycock goes live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and then Bob Wilson 123 goes live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday as well. If you're not part of the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group and you want to hang out with me throughout the week, you can join there, and we're always posting there. Don't forget about the new Patreon stuff that we spoke about, and the merch store at itscrochetoclock.com. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. See you next week.